Okay, the property in question is 525 North Hilltop Avenue in Somerdale. There's no backyard to this property. It's a long lot. It is a corner lot. Okay, this is Jim Borkowski, and we're doing a home inspection on 525 North Hilltop Avenue in Somerdale. Jim, you're on.
Hello, welcome. The first thing we're going to take a look at today is basically to make sure we have a concrete walkway, make sure that there's no unevenness in it, no trees pushing up the roots for possible trip hazard. Everything looks in pretty good shape. We scout the whole area as we did run before, so it looks in real good shape. The next thing we want to look at here is see where basically we've had a lot of settlement, primarily due to the discharging of the water from the gutters are not being pushed away from the house. Negative grade, the water is just running basically down and into the structure. We have some settlement cracks due to that discharge on the other side of that wall. We'll see how intrusive that is on the inside. If anything, it should be sealed up if there's no intrusiveness from the inside. Your bed joints, I think this has to be raised and picked up and dealt with, and definitely discharging the water away from the house. You can see where it's settled over a couple of inches all the way down, making that probably an uneven, more than a tread rise is about 12 inches, where normal is 7.5, so that could be considered a trip hazard there. Okay, this, I mean, it's an improvised repair, but it's solid still. It works. It may not look pretty. Okay. You can see by the drill holes in the foundation wall, that's typically telling us that they look recent also, and termite treatment was done. Okay. Again, clogged, probably gutters are clogged. You can see the debris in there. So the gutters always have to be cleaned out, and again, the discharge away. I'll keep driving that home. Cracks in concrete driveways, again, not unusual. It's not the end of the world. Clean out the roots. They put some caulking in there. They sell caulking cement from Home Depot and Lowe's, which I've been using a lot today. Vinyl siding, cap fascia, cap soffits, all the way across the little bend there, no big deal. Missing some capping on that fascia board there. The responsibility on the electrical end of it, on your entrance cable, is your responsibility from that drip loop forward, from the masthead forward, and basically that entrance cable looks in good shape into your meter box, then down into the basement to your electrical panel, which we'll take apart. Normally, one of the things we look for out here is a grounding wire, and I have one here, but I don't know where it's going. And it's normally have something to a ground underneath, to a rebar, and basically we'll look for something inside. I see it going underneath there. I don't see a termination for it, so we'll look for a solid ground when we're inside the house. But if not, I would make a mention to that. Okay. Again, some more capping issues, that's simple things. Here, again, the negative grade. Water discharging, not being managed, gutters are not hooked up, so water is just discharging here. Even if they were hooked up, it's still negative. You're still going to get water in this area. It's got to be moved away to stop it from entering the basement or the structure of the house. Goes in, and we have some metal capping missing, some brick molding still good shape, so at least we know that the capping's over this brick molding. Brick molding is in good shape, so they just capped it so there's no maintenance as far as that's concerned. So that all looks pretty good. This here is a clean out, a plumbing clean out for your sewer line to the exterior of the house. If everything's clean from the inside, this gives them a way to look at it from the outside forward. Electrical outlet box that we normally check for electricity, but we know the electricity is turned off for now. Moving down, keep going. Moving down here, this is your dryer flap, dryer vent cover rather, with a flap cover. That's good. We just check to make sure there's one there, so animals and bird nesting don't go up. Here we have basically a little bit of a sub panel. It's got a circuit breaker in there. Personally, I believe it's for the AC compressor unit on the outside. I'll double check when I'm in the basement to confirm that. And normally I would take these screws off to check the breaker itself to make sure it's in good condition, not rusty. The contacts are tight, the screws are down tight on the wires and so forth. Okay? Again, we got some loose capping for the fascia up there. We just make sure that's secured and sealed. Again, we would check outlets to make sure that they're operable. We would always recommend having them hooked to a GFI or have a GFI outlet installed for the exterior of the house. Here's the gutter situation. I made mention to that before. Same scenario, missing the drain altogether. You know, this is buried and discharging there. We're not connected, so it's not going to do any good for us. We're going to get water in the basement because of it. Okay.
All right, we're ready.
This here is our AC compressor. This works in conjunction with the furnace or the air handler, whatever you want to call it, on the inside. First thing we would say, we'd like to have it just a little bit more level. No big deal, but it's almost there. The insulation lines, we would want some new insulation on that to maintain the integrity of the refrigerant. Normally what I do is get a serial number for the size of the unit and also a code for the age. But the label's pretty well worn out and I can't quite tell, but if I had to take a guess, it's anywhere between 10 and 15 years old. It's anywhere from 2 to 3 ton. Average design life, as I normally state to people, is 15 to 20 years on these guys. Normally this is your exterior water faucet. We would check for water working and closing. This here is your apparatus for the water company to read your water without entering the house. Again, gas lines, as we know, and also cable lines tucked away real nice and neat. That's unusual. Again, a little bit more look at the windows. They are wooden, it appears, which, again, pretty good shape. The gaps on the chimney, we always like to see sealed, basically to keep out insect bugs and other material going in there. As you can see, we can get inside. You know, we got some rotted wood. And I'm right on the exterior wall there, interior wall. So, like that sealed up for a reason. This here is just typical spalling, and that's more cosmetic than anything. As far as the mold is concerned, on this north side, very typical. You can wash it off with bleaching water, and give it a couple years, she'll be back again. Okay. We can take just a little bit of a step back. And normally I would jump up on the roof, but for the essence of time, we can see that the chimney is spalling on the side here. We can also see that the terracotta flue has been damaged. So some work on that chimney will need to be done, and we would also recommend a rain cap once that's completed to secure the water from not entering into the chimney and rusting out the vent stack. One good thing, the whole basement window wells are above grade, which is great. And you do have a great view of the foundation wall for future termite intrusion and things of that nature from the exterior. As you can see, you need some work on those windows. On those basement windows, they're old. There are replacement windows available from Home Depot and things of that nature. Okay. Your vent cover looks in fairly decent shape for your vent stack. It looks like they had an alarm system in here at one time. I see the speaker poached in there. And again, we come around.
Okay.
Again, as we walk around to the front of the house, again, coming around full circle, we notice that we have the same gutter. So it's a recurring theme, and I'm sure that's absolutely needs to be corrected to keep the water away from penetrating the house. Again, fascias look good. Siding looks pretty tight. Windows look in decent shape. We check them a lot closer inside, making sure that they hold position, opening and closing, and going through that. Make sure there's no condensation between the panes, which they're not thermal anyhow. So you do have storm windows as opposed to a thermal window. Again, the negative grade. So it's important to keep your gutters clean from debris, so water doesn't wash over, come down forward to the basement. So make sure they're always cleaned out. Again, as I mentioned before, I would jump up on the roof, give you an idea of the roof structure, whether it's one layer or two layer, give you approximate age, And this roof doesn't look too bad at all, but normally we'd go up and give it a full inspection and give an idea exactly what's going on with it. But that would probably pretty much complete the outside. That's a quick synopsis of things. I would be checking electrical outlets, as I mentioned before, and things of that nature, and going into a little bit more detail. But this, for a tertiary look, this is should explain it.